Hey, Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And it's brewing up in the spirit. I just actually did a lesson going into how there's worldwide riots happening. And it just so happened that it happened on May 1st, May Day, which May Day, all right, on May 1st, 1776 was the year, all right, that the day in the year that the Illuminati began. So there's a sinister spirit in that day, and amongst the riots that's going on, I just seen an article going into how it says get ready for the most painful inflation since the Jimmy Carter years of the 1970s. If you are too young to have been alive during the 1970s, you might want to read up on that decade, because current economic conditions are starting to become eerily similar to what we experienced back then. In the 1970s, an energy crisis caused tremendously long lines at gas stations all over the country. In 2021, we don't have a shortage of gasoline, but shortages of other key products are starting to cause very serious problems. In fact, as you will see below, even the Biden administration is publicly admitting that there will be supply chain disruptions in the months ahead. The 1970s also featured extremely painful inflation, and I certainly don't need to tell you that prices have been rising very aggressively lately. In fact, Bloomberg is using the term skyrocketing to describe the upward trajectory of commodity prices. The prices of raw materials used to make almost everything are skyrocketing, and the upward trajectory looks set to continue as the world economy roars back to life. From steel and copper to corn and lumber, commodities started 2021 with a bang, surging to levels not seen for years. The rally threatens to raise the cost of goods from the lunchtime sandwich to gleaming skyscrapers. It's also lit the fuse on the massive reflation trade that's gripped markets this year and pushed up inflation expectations. With the U.S. economy pumped up on fiscal stimulus and Europe's economy starting to reopen as its rollout gets into gear, there's little reason to expect a change in direction. Okay? And that's a fact. As a matter of fact, I was speaking with someone the other day. He's a contractor. He was saying how, the cost of wood, 2x4, all right, to lay out a house or whatever maybe you want to fix up your basement or something. He was saying the price of that doubled, So yeah, these are real time numbers, and people think this is the best time of their life because they get to sit home, not work, and still make good money. But ultimately, this money is going to be shit, because the more you have of something, the less of value it is, and amongst everything that's going on, this is why you see cryptocurrency, becoming more of a value, gold, silver, as the Apostle Tahar been warning us to get, because this world is changing over to a new system, one in which physical money, is not needed. As a matter of fact, you have other nations, all right, Russia, Turkey, China, they're speaking of going into a new trading system that doesn't involve the American dollar. All right, because they're sick and tired of the sanctions, which are messing up their economy. Okay, and it would behoove us through the spirit As the apostle, as I mentioned, the apostle Tar was going into to, if we can, you got the extra money, put some money into, gold or silver, put some money into a cryptocurrency or whatever. It's just my humble advice, because, we understand the end all be all. All right, that money will go digital. All right, Revelations 13 and 16. All right, and even if we understand, we also understand that Esau Edom works in the Lord also. He works in a time frame, so things are not going to change overnight. It might be cash, and then digital currency, and then ultimately the the RFID chip. Okay, so we just gotta go with the flow as far as that goes. Of course, not the. I'm talking about go with the flow as far as looking past the American dollar, not to take the RFID chip. We go with the Lord on that one. All right, because you take that, you're gonna eat a missile. But it says over the past year, the Federal Reserve has pumped more money into the financial system than ever before, and the U.S. government has been on a wild spending spree that makes Zimbabwe look fiscally conservative. It was inevitable that this was going to cause rampant inflation, but the numbers that we are starting to see are so crazy they are difficult to believe. A couple weeks ago, Charlie Balalo posted a summary of how commodity prices have changed over the past year. Okay, as you see lumber, you see the numbers, all going up at least, 20, 10, 20, 30, upwards of 200%. At this point, nobody can deny what is happening, and even the Biden administration is admitting that there will be supply chain disruptions and transitory increases in prices. And even on the lower level, whereas, a lot of us, we work and, you go buy your food and stuff like that. When you go to the store, $20, you probably only get, 3 or 4 items. That's how expensive things are getting nowadays. Okay. It says, Council of Economic Advisors Chair Cecilia Rouse said on this week's broadcast of Fox News Sunday that they expect to see some transitory inflation as America is coming out of the coronavirus pandemic. Anchor Christ Wallace said, "Can you guarantee with all this spending that we are not going to have a new round of overheating the economy and serious inflation?" Rouse said, "They are very serious concerns, and we know that coming out of an extreme deep recession that there are going to be bumps along the way. We expect that there is going to be supply chain disruptions that will cause some transitory increases in prices." Okay. So as you see, it's a decently long article. But that was pretty much the point. Just going into how it's about to get very bad. As I mentioned, along with the riots, that's making life uncomfortable. All right, in the government, which is the cause of the riots, that's making life uncomfortable. All right, you have raising prices, man. And if there's no work, how do you expect people to pay for that? Which goes to show you that soon there's going to be a famine on food. Okay, and it's going to be the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, which if you're not a servant of the Lord, that's on you. The scriptures say, "My servant shall eat." Isaiah 65. Proverbs 10 tells us that he have not suffered the soul of the righteous to famish. Proverbs 10 and 3, I want to say. But this is Isaiah 24 and 1. It says, "Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof." So here it is, the Most High shaking this place up. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. You know? So it's going to be felt. It's going to be felt all around the board. Okay? To where before you might have certain scares as far as, you know, this shipment not getting here, but eventually it got there and things happen as normal. You know, but soon enough it's going to be too expensive to move things. You know? It's going to be too expensive, or yeah, it's going to be too expensive to move things. Therefore, companies, you know, are not going to see a profit to bringing them there. You know, or through these riots. All right, this place could get shut down. In which case, you know, you cannot go from city to city because everything will be locked down. You know, so either way, this place is you know, the Most High is turning the lights out in this place, so to speak. The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh have spoken this word. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the Lord, when you see Lord, it means Yahweh. All right? Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, we say Ba'Shem in the name Yahweh Shai, because that's who he's going to send to change this world around. All right? He's doing these things. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and few men left. You know, and yeah, man. So that's pretty much it with that. Shalom to the elect.